If you have ever struggled while playing video games as a child, chances are you felt some unpleasant feeling building up inside of you, and you just had to let it out some way or another. If you had parents who scolded you for screaming too much, you hopefully learned that you either keep your voice down or you take a break from the games which supposedly are meant for you to relax. Perhaps do something more productive with your time, so to say. Let's plays on the internet are watched for differing reasons, and the two main points I can think of at the moment are the game itself and or whichever internet persona is playing. Speaking for myself, there is just something so endearing about watching someone play and reacting to a game I have played, whether it be their first time or not. Hopefully, most Let's Players on the internet share their experiences with other anonymous people for one main and very important reason: passion. If money is involved, then it should be a close second in terms of priority. However, I do believe that the Let's Play channel can still be successful even if money is the top priority, as long as passion is a close second. This passion can be expressed in different ways, such as excitement and joy, or the occasional painstaking frustration. However, when the Let's Play hosts jump into a game they are not so fond of, it is fair to expect that they replace excitement and joy with critical points and arguments for the majority of the time. Some channels can have thousands, if not millions, of followers, and in this day and age, we have to expect that many of these followers are bound to form and shape their opinions based on who they follow. It is very easy to think a certain way just because of the person you look up to. This can either be a good thing or a bad thing. And for this video, we are going to take a look at rage and video games and try to determine what sort of instances are okay for when loud voices and or strong opinions are in the picture. Screaming and shouting can indeed make one feel more alive, such as when you do martial arts or cheer in the audience crowd during, say, a heavy metal concert. Even while being silent yourself, just listening to others yelling can be uplifting. Loud voices have a way to rally spirits and boost vigor, basically.
You inspire people. The benefits of your shouting outweigh the risks.
If you want me to shout, then I'm gonna shout!
But of course, there is a time and a place for everything. When it comes to shouting, you better think twice before doing so inside a home with other people just a few walls away. If you want to be responsible and maintain a civilized and considerate atmosphere, that is.
Right.
As you just saw, many Let's Players will encounter hardships during the gameplay. The fact that they are able to express this by being loud serves as a plus in terms of being engaging. It is very possible that certain sounds and rants coming from their mouths can bring one to tears of laughter. But just because they get to be loud like that, does that mean that you should be emulating them? Of course not. Like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. And it might not even feel natural to you being that loud. But it is also important that you make it clear that there's no malice when you yell towards other people.
No, this gets interesting now. It does.
No, I didn't
Why'd you click me? Emil!
No, I didn't click it! I was holding the button down!
Why would you hold it? It's all that counts!
Yes.
Emil!
Yes.
Emil!
Yes.
You
Yes.
ruined everything!
Yes.
Ah!
Change their name.
You can forgive me. There's a forgive option, Emil.
Well, this doesn't hurt you.
Really? You think I'm gonna let you do this shit right now? We have been trying to do this for hours! I am going to actually strangle you at this rate! Do whatever you want, but holy cow, am I angry at you right now. My god, Emil, pay attention, please!
Oh. Oh my god.
If you honestly make this take more weeks in-game, I am going to kill you! This is so dumb! We have been trying! For hours, we have not gone for food because we want to kill this boss, and you have prolonged this now potentially for hours.
Oh man, that's
And all you are doing is giggling! I just want to kill this asshole!
I've got the video camera here.
His face is red. He's red in the face.
Because I'm yelling! Because we've been here for hours now!
Ooh, baby, I love
I
your
want
way.
to go eat!
Every day.
I feel a lot better now. How about you?
Oh my god, this is the best day of my entire life.
And moments like that must be reserved for good friends, and you should avoid being that loud towards people you just met or barely know. Worst case scenario, they might worry that you're some psychopath. Or perhaps a milder case, somebody might feel legitimately bullied by you. Now, you might be thinking, so screaming and shouting is okay as long as you're with friends and don't disturb other people, right? So what more is there to even talk about when it comes to rage and video games? At least a few more things, unfortunately. Because, like I said, there is a thing called your opinions and even your personality being shaped by the people you look up to. At the end of the day, games, well, most games anyway, represent hours of blood, sweat and tears in order to bring joy to the world in one of the most beautiful artistic forms. At the very least, games being one of the most beautiful artistic mediums is just my humble opinion. The point is, people are sacrificing a lot in this process so that we may experience something truly wonderful during what is otherwise another seemingly meaningless day. While nothing is perfect, thus nothing is about critique, it is still scummy to harshly criticize artworks, such as video games.
Seriously, I'm doing like a show. I know, I just figured I'd give my 2 cents.
I don't care. Nobody likes you. You took fun and made it unfun. How'd you even do that? Maybe I should go douse for a better game, huh?
Hey man, that's low.
So's my interest in playing you again. Oh shit! Burn! Burn! So I'm just really proud of what I've done today. Plus, I really hate you.
I just, you know, it's like when you do something long enough, right? Like when you have a career and you get older and, you know, like maybe you have kids or, you know, you lose family, like things just get like a little more serious, you know, and you start to think like, man, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Like, what am I doing with my life? And like, what am I putting out into the world? And I can't imagine that the people who made Sonic Heroes were like, yep, that was it, man. This is it. This is what's happening. I mean, I'm putting out some good into the world with this game. Like, give me a break.
But let's not be complete cowards here. Let's show everyone that we have a backbone and be real. If these criticisms are actually valid, though it might be difficult, we should be able to look past the harshness and instead use the criticism, so that future products potentially become way better than what people expect based on the experiences from the previous product. But, in assuming that the criticism is valid, we must also assume that the critic truly did make use of proper footage and relevant and fair arguments. If they fail to do so, then they only look like bumbling baboons once other people counter their sloppy arguments.
So that, yeah, I would actually, like, redact that argument from my video if I could make it again.
Huh.
But whatever.
This is a case I would say is both okay and not okay to be profoundly loud, but mostly not okay. Like I said, some people will watch a gaming channel mainly because of the particular host, not the games themselves. As such, it is typically easier to think like they do when it comes to critical videos in regards to a game you yourself have no experience with yet. Especially so when hyperbolic expressions are being used because you basically get their beliefs shoved down your throat. Many will, of course, argue that people can think for themselves, thus these critics are not responsible for certain consequences which may occur because of their critical videos being done poorly from an objective standpoint. But you need to stop up for a moment and think about kindergartens, schools, jobs, the military. Everywhere we go, we have a chance to shape other people and be shaped by other people, for better or worse. Hopefully for the better, right? The point is, all of us are indeed responsible for what we say and do in front of others. But Hugo, they were clearly just joking and acting like characters, so that means... We're not talking about that right now! But I will say that it is one of the worst excuses to use when defending somebody clearly doing bad faith takes for no good reason. Even college professors slip up during lectures, which is why such slip-ups must be corrected as quickly as possible. And it is equally important that the professors understand that there is no shame in that. We have to always keep in mind that the information provided to us might actually be misinformation. But like, don't be paranoid or stuff like that, you know? The point is to take things with a grain of salt and remain humble and open for counter-arguments. But once again, not all counter-arguments are valid, so if you can counter them back, then just go right ahead, you know? If you really can. So, about the thing in regards to critical points for video games. Critical points are not exclusive to scripted videos, they can very much occur during live gameplay.
Oh, grab it.
Huh? Is that a hit?
It's just random, dude. No, when people talk about Ocarina, they're like, it's a masterpiece, but the water temple, ugh. And it's like, okay. But nobody says anything like that about this, and there's so many moments that are just ass.
Of course, it is quite common to miss certain things during your first time playing a game, and you might even beat the game, still unaware of that certain hardships could have been avoided had you just paid attention, or not rushed things trying to blaze through the game as quickly as possible. When it comes to people doing Let's Plays without revisiting certain games, based on what I witnessed, it can turn into an instance of the host not only affecting his audience with his profound yelling, but he might actually convince himself that if a game causes him to be this loud and negative, then there is something inherently wrong with it, and there's basically no questions asked. And that will obviously bring more consequences in the future, delusion being one of the key words. I think this video is long enough as it is, so in conclusion, screaming because of peculiar moments, silly frustrations or your own mistakes, that is okay for the most part. Because such moments oftentimes have laughter mixed in, which is contagious for the audience and the other hosts if there are more than one. At the end of the day, everyone is having fun. Screaming because of your own mistakes but blaming the game for it is never okay, obviously. But sometimes you don't realize something was your own fault until much later on, or never. However, those moments can still be turned into something okay, because there is some cathartic value in witnessing that kind of moment of realization, you know. Something like,
What am I missing here? Besides those coins, apparently. I'm a fucking idiot. Jesus, I didn't even think that was gonna be remotely possible. My god. Alright.
Screaming during a scripted critical video is something I cannot recommend, or at the very least I can never encourage people to do it. Because as explained, you will look even more stupid if you were actually wrong. And even when I am absolutely certain about something, I still try to pick out my moments carefully, because when you use screaming and other loud noises, you mostly do it for comedic value. Even if your frustration is legitimate and profound. Otherwise, it just ends up coming off as random and pointless. Screaming and shouting can indeed feel good, but sometimes maybe too good, like some dangerous drug. And sometimes we get tired of being loud and angry, but even so we cannot stop being loud and angry for some reason. Is it too late by then? I certainly hope not. If it gets close to a point like that, maybe you really should just put down your controller and turn off the game.